Okay, we are going to start. First step is input. Input, transformation, and output. We need to take the input. So the input I am storing in the storage account. So first of all, I need to have a storage account. I hope you already knows how to create the storage account. Okay, if you are familiar, I hope you already done the storage account. Um, so please create one storage account. Okay, in order to create the storage account, I can explain the process once again. The storage account, how to create it, or go to Azure portal. This is the first step in the ETL process. The input we have to specify where the input is. Our input is in the storage account. So in order to create a storage account, storage. Okay, just to search for the resource name on the search bar, storage, and click here the storage account. Here I am going to create a storage account. I'm going to create a storage account. My storage account, how to create a storage account? You need to fill this basic queries. This basic questions. What is your subscription? It is EF subscription. Resource group is very important. Definitely, you have to select EFDP AICT, this resource group. I have created the resource group that is FTP AICT. Our resource also belongs to this FTP AICTs. And instance names. The storage account name should be unique. Should be unique. So FDP storage. FTP storage is not available, so input. FTP storage, no, not input. FDP storage. FTP AICT. It is my storage account name. This is my storage account name, and you can select a region that is closer to you, and it is GRS itself. GRS, or you can have a different redundancies available, locally redundant, GRS, SRS, GSRS, out of which GSRS is a very, it may be, the backup is stored in different places. It is highly secure. LRS is not at all secure. GRS is okay, that is secure because it is storing different places, not only in your region, out of your region also it is storing. But if you are selecting different things, the bill is going to be increased. So GRS is more than enough. And go to next tab. Here you no need to do anything. No need to do anything. Okay. And the third step is networking. Okay, enable public access. Okay, it is by default, it is there. Data protection. Okay, that's fine. And encryption, I am not doing anything. Here also I am not doing anything. Tag, I am not going to do anything. Review. Okay, the validation is getting passed, and I am creating my storage account. My storage account is getting ready. This, as you know, it will take some time to complete the process. The storage account deployment is in progress. So create a storage account. Okay, my storage account is ready. My storage account is ready. And we need to create a container. Okay, before that, don't forget to enable this. We have to enable this one. Anonymous access, you should enable this one. Otherwise, sometimes some error may happen. Allow blob anonymous access. In the root level itself, in the storage level itself, we are enabling the anonymous access. Save it. So first step in the ETL process is we need to select the input. We need to select the input. Second step is transformation, and the third step is again storing the output. Now we are doing the input process. Input we are going to take from the storage account. That is why I am creating the storage account. This is for those comes late. So storage account is ready. Storage account is ready. This is the details of my storage account. Storage account is created. You can see all the details here. It is under the FTP ACT. Okay. Globe enabled. Okay. Globe anonymous access is still, I can see it is disabled. We need to wait for some time. Okay. Let it update to the storage account. Okay. Blob anonymous access. Okay. Now you can see blob anonymous access is enabled from my side. And in order to upload a file, you should have a container. Okay, container. Or you can upload it here as well, but better to have a container. I am going to create a container. I am creating a new container and naming it as input. Okay, here I am naming it as input. The container is input, and I am making it as blob anonymous access, and I am going to create it. Okay, my container is nothing but it is something like a folder where we are storing the input or the data source. We need to take some data source, then we need to transform it, then we need to store in the output. So this in this location we need to keep some data sources. We need to take some data sources. Okay, my data source is a CSV file. I need to create a CSV file. Okay, I am having a CSV file. This is my CSV file. I am creating a CSV file. Input.csv. CSV is comma separated file. So ID, name, and age. This is the heading, and I am giving some values. ID is 1, name is Prince, and age is 21. ID is 2, name is Siddharth, and this age is 24. I can give some more values. 3, name is so then, and age is 25. Okay, I'm giving some input values. And this is my file. On this file, some data is there. It is a CSV file. Okay, I can upload this file in my storage account. I am going to upload this file in the storage account. I hope up to this point you already learned in the day before yesterday's class, in the yesterday session. Okay, input.csv. Input.csv is upload. I'm going to upload it. Uploaded it. So our first step is over. In the ETL process, our first step is over. We have uploaded our data source in a data storage. It is not compulsory to always have a storage account and upload your file, Your data source should be in a storage. It is not at all compulsory. You can take the input from any source. You can take the input from any source, whether it may be an IoT device or some other sources, or even in the AWS cloud. Sometimes your data may be in AWS cloud. Sometimes your account, this may be in Soho. Sometimes in the this one, your data may be in some other places. Zero. Your data may be your input may be from some other places. For simplicity, we already done this thing. That is why we have selected the storage option, storage account option, and we are storing our input files in this storage account. So input storage or the input, the data source is ready. We can check whether it is okay. This is my storage account. If I am copying this one and the URL and I am placing here, I suppose okay, it is getting downloaded. Okay, it is getting downloaded. My input is ready, my data source is ready. Then second thing is we need to do some transformation. The transformation means the input is ready, you can do some transformation, you can process it, you can analyze it. The transformation you can do, and output should be stored somewhere. The result should be stored somewhere. Input is ready, transformation need to done, second step is pending. After the transformation, you need to store your result to the somewhere. In this exercise, what I am going to do is I am storing the output also in the same storage account. So I am creating a new container, that is output. Output is my container. I am placing the access blob access public. Okay, I am creating my one more folder over here. One more folder over here. Here we are storing the result. So the thing is very simple. From here we are taking the data, we are going to transform it, and we are going to store it over here in the output. We can do some transformation and all those things. Here the output is, now the output folder is empty. There is nothing in the output folder, the output container. Okay, so can you please complete up to this? There is a hierarchical namespace. Is hierarchical namespace and SFTP need to be enabled while creating the storage? It is not compulsory. While creating the storage account, you can give a unique name. While creating, the name should be unique, and you can go for by the default option itself. Okay. I can see Professor Sevgo sir completed. Naveen Kumar sir completed. Up to this, I hope. Yeah. So this is the step. This is the fundamental, the very basic steps for the ETL process. ETL process is this one: extract, transform, and loading. So first of all, we need to take the input. Our input is in this storage account, one container, and in the container input folder is there where I have uploaded one file, input.csv, and what I can do. Okay, you can create your own CSV file for the. I am going to share this file to you. I can share this what my input file to you. What I have, what I am using. If you have your own file, you can definitely use it. I'm unable to upload the file as it is. I have shared to Siddharth. Whether Siddharth is able to share to you, then it is fine. Okay, this
lp.csv.
yeah, CSV. I have
Yes,
shared to you.
I'll be sharing in the chat. Just wait.
Okay, okay. Because I am not able to share it. I don't know. Okay, this is my file, or you can create by your own. What I have done is this is my CSV file I have created. This is the file, only 3 fields. Ah, yes, sir.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I created storage, Naresh Storage A. I
Okay.
hope my screen is visible, sir, here.
Yes, your screen is visible.
So where I can enable blob, sir?
Sir, you can go for the overview. Click on the overview, not IAM. Okay, overview. Here you can see the third one in the blob service under, yeah, disable. Click on disable and enable it.
And save.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, sir. You can unshare your
So,
screen.
sir,
Okay.
any
Any more, sir?
resource group we can select, any location we can select, right?
Resource group, you can select anything, but for this workshop, we have created our resource group FDP ACT, and all our resource should be in that group. Because we are able, we can able to track this all the resources.
Correct, sir. And one
Okay.
thing I observed yesterday and day before yesterday, I created few instances. I could not able to find those now, sir.
Okay, it is because not automatically. It is because this Azure services are not at all free, sir. It will cost some amount, so that is why we are deleting from our end.
Fine, sir. No.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, and you can unshare your screen.
Done, sir.
Okay. Okay, so
And
I hope.
just wait, sir. Just
Uh,
wait, Prince. And sir, I request you to kindly don't create any resource group. If you want to do any activity, do it in FDP AICTE. Please. This is my humble request to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, one more query. What should be the anonymous levels to directories in the containers in both input and output? Okay, by default, the containers access level is private. You can change it to the second one, blob storage access. I can show you. Okay, this is my resource group, and I am having the container. I have created two container input and output. In the input access level, I have okay, I have changed it to this one, blob anonymous read access. By default, it is private. You can change it to this one. Otherwise, sometimes some error may happen. And I have uploaded the input file. Our inputs on this input folder or the data source is now available. Data source is available, and I am having a place where we are going to store the result. Now the output folder is empty. Okay, so data set is ready. We knows where to copy the result. Now only thing is we need to do some transformation and we can store the result. For that, we can use the concept called ADF, Azure Data Factory. So data factory, just search for data factories. Data factory, we are going to create a new resource called data factories. And I am going to create a data factory for this purpose. Our aim is to convert our data source is there. We need to transform to some other format or something we need to do. Sometimes scoping, sometimes some merging and all those things. Sometimes some other operations. We can eliminate some columns and so many operations you can do in the data factory. After this transformation, the result should be stored in the output or mean some other places. The input process we have done, the step one we have completed. Now we are going for creating the data factories. Okay, here the storage, you can just search for data factories and create a data factory. I'm going to create a data factory. It is also a resource. You know how to begin with. We need to fill all the basic questions over here. The subscription, I am having only one subscription, EF subscription. Resource group, we are going to select FDP, AICTE, some other resource group you can see, but we are not using that one. Our resource should be belongs to this one, FDP, AICTE. FDP, AICTE. And instance name, you can give our resource name. Whatever the resource you are creating in the Azure, you have to give a name, and the instance name I am giving FDP ADF, Azure Data Factory. FDP ADF. You can give your name FDF, your name Data Factory or something. You can give some other names. Okay, FTP ADF. I am going to create it. Git configuration, I am not going to do currently, no Git configuration. You can configure with GitHub. So currently I am not going to do this thing. Networking, okay, I am not changing. Yes, sir.
Sir, one basic question. Okay, it may be out of
Yeah.
context. I'm sorry for that. Why we are not able to give a name in the uppercase? Everywhere, it is asking uppercase is not allowed. Is there
Yeah.
any reason for that?
It is the naming convention used followed by Azure, sir.
It should be lowercase.
Yeah. And sometimes these underscore special characters are also may not be allowed.
Okay.
It is the naming convention followed in Azure.
Thank you, sir.
So Git configuration, networking, and advanced. Going to advanced. I am not going to do anything over here. Tags, I am not giving any tag. And a review and create. And I am creating the data factories. I am creating the data factory. The data factory, I am going to create it. Just search for data factory and fill the basic questions. Very basic questions. Subscription should be selected, and the resource group should be selected, and give the name of your data factory. My data factory deployment is complete. Now go to resource. This is my data factory. Resource group is this one. Data factory name is FTP ADF I have given. Under the subscription, EF subscription, and all those things you can see. So data factory is also created from my end. Okay, next step is I am going to launch my studio. It will open a new tab. Azure Data Factory is going to launch. Is getting launched. This is my Azure Data Factory. This Azure Data Factory is doing this ETL process. Load the data from the storage account. Load the data from the data source. Data source may be different one. From different data sources may be available. You can take the data, you can process it, and you can store in some other place. After the result you can store in some other place. All this is done by this Azure Data Factory. So Okay, I can start with okay. Ingest. I am first step is I am going to do some copy from one place to another place. You can orchestrate is there, transform data is there, some other things is also available in the Azure Data Factory. First of all, I am going to do this ingest. So Data Factory is there. You can have different options are available. Run now itself. You can schedule is the tumbling window is there. Tumbling window is used for the data maybe sometimes the streaming. In that case, you are using the tumbling window. You can schedule this task. You can schedule this operation for to be happened for tomorrow or next week. You can schedule this when this task should be done. But now, for the demonstration purpose, I am doing run one and now itself. Next step is select the data source. You need to specify to the data factory that from where you need to select the data. We already have our data ready with us, that is in the Azure storage. You can select the data. What is the data source type? Whether it is Azure Blob Storage or Azure Cosmos DB, you can take the data from anywhere. You can see so many things are there. You can see these Sarah is there, Soho is there, Sophie is there, Salesforce is there, Oracle is there, Jira is there. You can see from where here HTTP is there, FTP is there, HDFS is there, FTP is there, Amazon Cloud also we can use here. S3 is there, Amazon buckets, Amazon S3 bucket. You can store your data source. You can store your data in Amazon. From there also you can use SQL Server. Different options are there, but our storage, our input is there in our Azure Blob Storage. So I am taking Azure Blob Storage, and after that, if you are selecting any data source type, if you are selecting Amazon or selecting Oracle database, sometimes you may be select your data may be in some other places. You need to connect to that service provider. You need to connect to that service and access that data. Then only Azure Data Factory is able to get that data. After getting the data, Azure Data Factory can do some other operation and do other things. So we should have a connection. We should set up a connection. So I am create now there is no connection to available. No connection is available. Now I am going to create a new connection. Name is Azure Blob Storage, or I can change it to this is reading from Azure. Reading from Azure. That is my connection name. Description reading inputs from Azure Blob Storage. Alright. This is for FDP. Okay, and the connection via integration runtime, authentication type. In order to connect that one, you sometimes you need to provide a username and password or some other authentication method to connect it to that data source. From here, I am using account key itself. Okay, and Azure subscription is this one. Azure subscription is this one. And under this subscription, I am having one storage account. You are able to see my storage account name is FDP ACT. In under this subscription, under this EF subscription, you can see so many storage accounts are there. You will not able to select somebody else storage account that belongs to that person. If I am selecting this one, it is not my storage account. It will show an error. Definitely it will show an error because this storage account name is not belongs to me. Some connection error will happen. I need to select my own. So FDP ACT is my storage account. Okay, loading key is successful. I have selected my storage account and I am going to create a new connection. Connection means the data factory is there. Data factory is supposed to load the data from the input, the source, load the data source. My data source or my input files are available in the Azure Blob Storage. So that is why I am selected Azure Blob Storage and I need to set up a connection. Sometimes username or password, sometimes some other authentication method you need to provide in order to connect that. So I have done all those things. I have provided the EF subscription and my storage account name and as well all those things. Create a connection. This is the connection. This is the connection to ADF. ADF Azure Data Factory need to connect to the Azure Blob Storage. The connection has been created. Okay, connection is there. And we need to specify in under this storage where is our input to source or input to files. There is a mandatory field is there, file or folder we need to select. So I need to browse. I need to browse it. Where is our input file? Our input file is in this folder, input folder. So select this one. Here one file input.csv that is already we have uploaded. So here we need to select it. This is the input.csv, that is the data source. We can load it from recursively itself. Sometimes you are selecting a folder. Inside the folder, some other subfolders or some other files, so many files are there. So you need to select it recursively. There is another option, binary copy is there. If only one file, then you can go for this binary copy. Sometimes enable partition to discovery is there. From the input source, you can filter it. If you don't want to load all the field in the input file, you can filter it by enabling partition discovery. There are some other options out there. Okay, by default, it is recursively. I'm going to proceed with this recursively option. And now what I have done, ADF, we are in data factory, input to source we have selected. Input to source we have selected. Now go to next. Okay, it is automatically selected the file type. It is a delimited text. We have separated each entry by comma separated one. So it is a delimited text. Sometimes your file contains a tab space to identify each and every items in that file. So in my case, it is separated. Each and every items is separated by a comma. This is my input. Okay. This is my file. Where it is? This one. This is my input file. This is my file. Okay. This is my file. These are the entries. These are the entries. So every items I have separated with a comma. It is a CSV file. It is a CSV file, input.csv file. So 1, 2, 3 entries are there. And the first line is a heading. This is my file. It is the column delimiter. Columns are separated with comma. There are different options are there. Sometimes semicolon you can use, a pipe you can use the tab and some other things. Okay, in my case, the columns are separated with a comma. And the first row as a header. Okay, no doubt. In my case, first row as a header. First row, this is a header. Okay, we have selected the input one. We have selected the input. We have selected the input file. Input is available in the data factory ETL process. We need to select the input. Then we can do the transformation. Here, what transformation I am doing is we are copying it. Okay, simply copying it. Then we can copy to. We need to specify the destination. We can do the destination. Okay, in the previous case, you can do some other Okay, here if you want, you can use this one, enable partition discovery. You can eliminate some fields and all those things. You can filter the input source. Some other transformation you can do. Okay, the so file type. Okay, input we have selected. This is the input to file. If you want, you can review the data whether it is correct or not. Now you are able to see this is the values, ID, name, age. This is the heading, and 3 entries are there. Okay, next step is where we need to copy this one, where we need to store the result. Here, I am going to store, we can store in the Azure storage itself. You can store different places, whether you can store Azure Data Lake, you can store, you can Cosmos DB, you can store MySQL, PostgreSQL file storage, database, Oracle database, SQL Server. Okay, so many places are there where you can store the things. Azure SQL database. Okay, from Azure SQL database, anywhere you can store these things. But now what I am going to do is we are going to store in Azure Blob Storage. This is our first exercise because that is why we are selecting this Azure Blob Storage, a very simple one. We are mainly doing the very simple one, Azure Blob Data Storage. Here we already have a connection to connect to the Azure Blob Storage. Either you can use that one, read from Azure connection we already established. Either you can use that one, or you can, for the better understanding, you can create a new one. Okay, so it is store to Azure Blob. This is the connection. And the description, it is not mandatory to give any description. Storing result into blob storage. And it is a new connection. We need to establish a connection should be established from the Azure Data Factory. You can just assume that Azure Data Factory is a separate entity. And input, or we need to connect to some other place. In order to connect, we need to create a connection. So connection, we need to establish. This is the connection name. And we are connecting to Azure itself. So Azure subscription we need to give, it is EF subscription, and the storage account is the same. FDP ICT is my storage account name, and we can create it. The connection is established. Input we have taken. Now we have to store the result. So a new connection should be established. This is the connection name, and in that connection, where we need to store the result, we are taking from input. Data is there in the input, but output nothing is there. We have to store in this output folder, output container. Okay, output container. You can see this folder is empty. Nothing is there. Okay, output folder I have selected. Copy behavior and all those things. I am not going to do anything. If you want, you can use the merge file is there. So many options are there. And I am going to, okay, I'm not going to add header to the file, everything as it is, and next. Okay, you can give the pipeline or the task name, copy pipeline. I am giving the name as copy pipeline. It's a pipeline, it's an activity, it's a pipeline. Our pipeline name is this one, copy pipeline. We are doing the task just copying only. That is a task we are going to do. We are taking the data from the Azure storage and we are storing it in the Azure storage itself with by using this task. Our task name, I can give any name. Okay, this is my task name. It's an activity. It is a pipeline. This pipeline is getting created with this task. And next, this is the summary. This is the summary of this activity or this pipeline. We are taking the input from Azure Blob Storage and we are copying to Azure Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage, one input folder is there, one CSV file we have already loaded, and we are storing in Azure Blob Storage to the output folder. The task name is this one. Okay, connection name, two connections are there. To reading this input, we are using one connection. To storing to that result, we are using some other connections. And click on next. Okay, now it is validating the everything. Okay, it is succeeded. It is succeeding. Okay, now we can finish our task. Okay, we need to wait for some time to complete this one. Created. Okay, successfully created. Now you can check whether it is loaded in the. Okay, it is my. Go to my storage account. We need to check. My storage account is FTP ACT. My storage is FTP ACT. Here the containers are there. Two containers, input and output. We can check in the output folder. You are able to see it has been copied. Who copied this one? It is copied via ETL process that is done by the Azure Data Factory. So this is the very basic example of Azure Data Factory ETL process. So the process is very simple. Take the input from any source, process it or transform it and store in other places. In this example, we have used input as the data storage, Azure storage, and output is also in the Azure storage account. We have taken the data from this input file, input container. This is my storage account. Two containers are there. We are taking input from this container, and we are processing through ADF and transforming and all those things is there in the data factory, and the result we are storing in the output. Input, take the input, transform it and store it. So please complete up to this. Oh, okay, nice to see Gulin sir. Done. Okay. Okay, Professor Sevug Bundin sir is also done. A container access level, how to change? Not to change the container access level, select the container. Here the change access level is there. You can change it to this one. There's a query in the chat. Manjula ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is take the container, open the container. Here the change access level is there.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, after creating the data factory, okay, I will show you once again. Those were not completed. Once repeat the process, sir. Okay, sure.
Excuse me,
Okay, I
sir.
can see.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, actually, when you see in input container also that file is available. That means it's a copy has been created.
Yeah,
right?
we have used the copy. Yeah.
Copy. Okay.
Yes.
If we take move means that entire file will be moved from any option for moving. the
No,
file?
sir. No, sir. Moving is not a good option because our data factory is something like a factory. We need to take the input. Sometimes it may be some Azure account. Sometimes it may be from IoT device. Sometimes the input may be some other sources.
Okay.
We are taking the things We are processing it and give the result. We can store it into some other place as well.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, Naveen Kumar sir is also done. Okay, deployment complete. Okay, great to see. We are happy to see some. Okay, I can see. Yeah. Okay, very nice, sir. Very nice. Congratulations, you have done it.
Sir, can you repeat how to check the result output?
Yeah, just to see, just to check in our because we have in the data factory we have selected the destination. I have selected the destination as my storage account output container.
Yeah,
So go to
I have done the
okay.
same.
Okay, so just go to your storage account, select your storage account. My storage account
Okay.
is FDP, this one, and check the select the container. We have two containers. Input is the place where we are taking the input. Output, in the output container, we are storing the result. So just open the output, check this file is available or not.
Okay, sir. It is available as input.csv only in my case.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, how use the txt format. Okay. This is my file. This is the output file. The result is.
Can we see the content that whatever we have typed in the input file?
Okay, in order to input a file, in order to see, you can just open the file. In the Azure Data Factory itself, there is an option to see that one. Okay, Azure Data Factory itself, there is an option.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, what you can do is go to that container, because the input file is the data source. You know this one. Okay, so click on this one. You will have a this one. Copy this one, and there is a you can place in a browser. It will automatically download. Press enter. It will automatically download, and you can just open it. It is downloaded. You can open in Notepad or some other editor, and you can see the.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, after creating the data factory, what is the next step? Okay, no worries. I will once again I will show you. Okay, after creating the data factory, in the data factory, what we are going to do is take the input, and store in a. This is the data factory. I hope you are in the data factory. We can have different options are there, ingest, orchestrate, transform data, configure SSIS and all those things. As a first example, we can go for click on this ingest. Ingest is nothing but we can copy the data from one location to another location, or from the data source we are having, we are taking the data source and we can transform and copy to some other places. So ingest, take the ingest and click on next, Here we need to select the input and we can select the output. So that is the process happening in the data factory. Okay, we can do one more exercise. Shall we do one more exercise on this data factory? So after completing this one, we have done a very basic thing. We are taking the data from the blob storage or the storage account, and we are storing in the same place itself, the storage account itself. So now what we are going to do is we are going to take the input from the storage account but we are storing the result in a MySQL database. Okay, this is the task. This is the task we are going to do. In the data factory, we are taking the input. We are taking the input from the storage account because we already created the storage account. Storage account takes the data from the storage account, but storing the result in a MySQL database, SQL database. So this is the task. Okay, I am doing from the beginning. I am doing from the beginning. Those who are not able to follow, you can just watch how to do this one. Okay, open. Okay, closing all those things. So two things we should have. One is our input we need to specify and output. Here the output, the result we are going to store in a MySQL database, SQL database. So first step is we should have a storage account. It is the storage account. I am going to delete this one. Okay, let it be there itself. Okay, I am going to create a storage account. That is our data source. Our data source or our input to file should be there in the data storage. Data storage, and in the data we are giving this file to the factory, data factory, and the data factory is supposed to store, read the data from this storage account and store the result in a MySQL or SQL database. This is the this is our aim. This is the process we are going to do. So HTTP ACT, I am going to create a storage account. First step is we should have a data source. We have to give this data source to the data factory. So first step is we should have a data source. Our data source should be there in storage account. I am going to store this data source in a storage account. So I am going to create just a search on storage account, storage accounts, and they create a new storage account. Those who are not created, okay, those who are facing any problems. If you are created already, that's fine. If you are not created, you can start. You can do along with me. Create a storage account. I am going to create a new storage account. Okay, so you need to. We are creating a new storage account. Subscription is CF subscription. Resource group is FDP ACT, and the storage account name FDP AICTE new. Okay, this is my storage account. Okay, new. So this is my storage account name. Region you can select that is near to you, and here I am not going to do anything. Network I am not going to do. Data protection nothing. Encryption nothing. Tag nothing. Review, just to review it. First step is this is the first step. Data source. Data source you need to provide and just to create it. Okay, deployment is in progress. Okay, deployment is complete. Our storage account is ready. Our storage account is ready. I am going to the resource. Here, one thing you need to do is blob anonymous access. You should enable it. It's an important step. Go to the, this is my resource. This is the resource. Enable in the overview. You can see all the things, all the details about your storage account. By default, anonymous access, blob anonymous access is disabled. You can enable this one and save it. Okay, it is successfully updated. You can verify in the overview tab itself. Okay, blob anonymous access. Okay, it is getting time to enable it. Blob anonymous access, go to this one and check it is enabled or not. Okay, it is enabled. Blob anonymous access is enabled. And here we need to have to upload our data source. We need to upload. So I am creating a container. Here I am creating a container. Container name I am giving it is input or any name or source. We can give a source. Source is my container name, and I am changing this access level as blob anonymous access. Create it. Okay, this is my container. Here we need to upload our data source, our data set or the files. Our source we need to upload over here. Our data we need to upload it over here. So click on upload. Browse the file. This is my file. I am using a CSV file. So input.csv. In the CSV file, you can enter your data. CSV file or any other text file or anything you can use, or Excel file or anything you can use. So I am going to upload it. Okay. So this is the first step. We have specified our input or the source we already specified. We have specified our source. This input file we are giving to the data factory. This is our data source is ready. This is my data source. I have uploaded in my storage account, Azure storage account. I have uploaded my CSV file. Our data file I have uploaded in the storage account. And this file we are giving to the factory doing something and storing in some other place. In this exercise, we are storing the result in an SQL database. Okay, we can do it with the SQL database. Okay, so storage account is ready. Before going to give this to the factory, we need to specify our result should be stored in SQL database. So we are going to create an SQL database here. So yesterday or day before yesterday, we already learned how to create an SQL database, right? So that's the same process. So here SQL database, you can select SQL database. SQL databases. Some database is already there. I am going to create a SQL database. Okay, we already know how to create an SQL database. So it should be, we need to fill some basic queries like this, basics, EF subscription, resource group. I can give FTP ACT. And the database name, I am giving it as FDP ADF. Okay, data factory. FDF ADF factory. This is the database name. Don't forget all those things. Here we are storing the result in an SQL database. We are taking the data from a blob storage or somewhere else. We are taking the data from the storage and we are storing the result into this database. Okay, so my database name is FDP ADF. And we need to create a server. Either you can select the, if you are selecting this servers means we can select it, no problems, but we don't know the username and password to access that server because these things are not created by myself. Somebody else is created. So I am creating my own server to deploy the database. So database server name is FDP DB server. You can give your name and the server or anything, you know, to it is easily to identify. I am giving FTP DB server location replace we can closer to you, and SQL authentication you can use in order to access this database server. You can use SQL authentication, and name is FDP, username is FDP, and this is the password I am giving. Okay, this is the password, and I am going to create it. Okay, we are going to create an SQL database. Why we are going to create an SQL database? Because Data Factory is supposed to store the result in the SQL database. That is why we are creating this SQL database. I'm creating the database. My database name is this one.
Sir,
Yes.
could you please show the next step? After creating the server, we need to specify anything there inside. The server name we have given. Server
Yes.
name we have given.
And the location, and use SQL authentication.
Okay.
Because we need to access the server. If you are not giving any authentication, means anybody can able to access your server.
Yes.
It is a security problem. So use a strong username and password. Okay, my database is FDP. Okay, it is not created. Sorry. Okay, FDP. I have created FDP. Sorry. Okay, to the resource group FDP ACT. Yes, subscription. We are creating it in a FDP ACT database name. I have given FDP DB FTP database name. Okay, FTP ADF. ADF is my database name. Selected the server. I think I have created one server, that is FDP something. Okay, let me check if the select the server I have created or not. My server is not listed here, so I can create a new server. Create new. Server name is FDP server. FDP server. Location anything. SQL authentication, and username is FDP, and the password is this thing. Okay, and create it. Okay, so database name is FTP ADF. My database name is FTP ADF. This is my server. Here I am going to deploy my database. So server is this thing, and you can backup and redundancy, locally redundant, so SRS or GRS. GRS is fine. And you go to next step, next networking. Connectivity method, you can go for the public endpoint, and allow Azure service you can select yes, and client IP address also you can select yes.
Sanish, sir.
This
Sanish.
okay, you can okay. In the networking part, you can, while creating the database on the networking part, you can give on the public endpoint, or you can set the, as I set a firewall rule. After creating the database, you can go and set the firewall rules you can set, or you can now itself you can do in the network part, you can add a public endpoint. Uh, by default, it is no access. If you are giving no access, means nobody will able to access the database. The firewall will block all the requests. So you need to go for a public endpoint and add current IP address. The firewall setting you can give it over here itself. Next to security, I'm not going to do any changes over here. Next, additional security. Here some, if you want, you can have some tables by default. I'm not going to use any table over here. And next tag, I'm not going to do anything over here. Okay. And I am going to create the SQL database. Only thing is on the networking part, you can select the public endpoint and allow these two things. Allow Azure service to on the resource access this server, and your IP address you can add, so that you only can access the database. Okay, review and create. So my database name is FTP ADF. Server is FTP server I have given. SQL authentication. Username is FDP and I know the password. Yeah. Okay, all those things is now it is fine. I am going to create it. Now my database is getting created. Database is created. So two things we have done. Input part is ready. We are doing the Azure data factory. Data factory needs two things: input and output. We are taking the input from the storage account and we are storing the result into database, MySQL database. So two things we have done. Input, that is in the storage account, is ready, and input file is also ready. And where to store the result? It is in the SQL database. So SQL database is also ready. SQL database is ready, but we need to create one table as well. We can create one table. Okay, let me complete this creation of the SQL database. It will take some time to complete. Okay, here some error in the chat box. I can see it is because you are not in the active subscription. Please select the active subscription, that is this one MK. I don't know. I can see you don't have any active subscription. You are in the default directory. You try to change your directory to Edunet World. Here you are in the default directory. You can change it to Edunet World. Okay, you should have an active subscription. My subscription is under my folder is Edunet World. Then only you are able to create any resource in Azure. Okay, my database is getting created. Okay, it is in the progress. You can see in the notification. The deployment is in progress. We need to wait for some time to complete. Yeah, now it's fine, finished. You can see deployment is succeeded. Okay, very nice. Now go to resource. Go to resource. Okay, everything is fine. Okay, data server name is there. This is my server name. Database I know. Database and username, password, everything I know, so that I can give these details to the Azure Data Factory to connect this thing. Okay, but the database is currently empty. Currently empty. Database is currently empty. What I am going to do is I am going to create a new table. What is our input file? What is in our input file? Input is having three fields. This is my, we are giving this file to the data factory. The data factory is supposed to store this thing, this details, or based on the condition, we can set up some filter or some according to our requirement, we can do some transformation and all those things. Anyway, we are giving this file to this CSV file to the data factory. Data factory is supposed to read all those things, and according to our transformation rules and all those things, the data factory, the result is storing in the SQL database. But SQL database is there. We have not created the table. Okay, now I am going to create a table in this database. So how to create a table is just to go to query editor. You can search a query editor over here. Query editor. The username is this thing. Username is this one, and the password. Password is my password is this thing. And click OK. Okay, now we need to create a table. We need to create a table. Create a table like a create a table. I'm not sure about this syntax. Create table. Table name is we can give person or FDP data. FDP data. This is my table. FDP data. And three field, because here input to file having three field, right? 1, 2, 3. ID, name, and age. ID int, name, varchar of 50, and age int. We can go and create this one. Okay, query succeeded. You can see query succeeded. We have created the table. Let me check with Visual Studio Code Studio as well, whether it is created or not. SQL Server Management Studio. This step is optional. I am just checking whether the table is created or not. If you are having this thing, you can use it. So I need to connect to the database. This is my database, FTP-ADF. This is my database. This is the server name. I can copy. And SQL Server Authentication, FTP, username, and this is the password. I'm going to connect it. Okay, it is getting connected. Here databases are there. Okay, FTP-ADF is there. Tables. Okay, now you can see this table is there. I'm just opening the things. FTPDF. I am just check any select star from dbo dot FDP data. This is my table I have just created. Now there is no values. ID, name, age, only the things are there, but nothing is there. Nothing in this table. Okay. Okay, till now what we have done is, to summarize, what we have done till now is we have created the data storage, I mean the storage account, and the CSV file, the data source is there, and we are set up a SQL database to that SQL database. We are storing the output of the data factory. We are having some output from the data factory. Data factory storing the result in SQL. SQL database is also set up. Everything is set up. Input, output is set up. Now the processing step that is now we are moving to the data factory. So I hope all of you done up to this step. Okay, is done up to this. It is now the process is very simple. We already done it. We already done it. Our input in the first exercise we have done our first data source. That is data source is Azure storage, and our destination was also the data storage. Now only difference is we are taking the input from the data storage, Azure data storage, but the result, the destination is somehow some difference. Previous first example, first exercise we have done with the destination is also data storage. Instead of that, our destination we are going to change in this exercise. We are changing the destination to MySQL. That is only thing. Now we can create a data factory. Okay, I already have a data factory, but those who are coming late, we can also do this thing. We can create a data factory. Data factory. You can just search for data factory to create all those things. Okay, here. Oh, I can see so many data factories are running in this our resource group. I am very happy for this. Anyway, we all are practicing this thing. Okay, data factories. I am going to create a new data factory. If you are already have a data factory, you can definitely use that data factory itself. Those who are not created the data factory, you can log into the Azure portal and follow the steps. Just search the data factory, and we are going to do the data factory. Okay, log into the Azure portal. Log into the Azure portal. Those who are not done anything, you can just search for data factories. Search for the data factories. I am going to create a data factory. Under the subscription is EF subscription, and the resource group is definitely it is FTP ICT. And the name I am giving FDP data factory, ADF new FDF data factory, or I can give Prince data factory, ADF. This is my data factory name. I can select any region that is comfortable with you. Better select a region that is closer to you. And the version is this one. And click on next. Git configuration, no need to do. And the networking part, or nothing to do. Advanced, nothing to do. Tag, nothing to do. Review and create is there. And just create the data factory. It is so simple to create a data factory. Just give your name and EF subscription you need to specify, and resource group, and give the name of the data factory. So simple it is. Creating the data factory is very, very simple. So create it. The data factory is getting created. In the data factory, we are doing this ETL process. Okay, my data factory is ready, up and running. I am going to that particular resource. Going to the particular resource. Here I need to launch the data factory. This is my data factory. I am launching the data factory, Azure Data Factory. A very nice interface is there. Yeah. Okay, now I am in the data factory. Data factory. The factory is ready for accepting the input and transform it and storing the things. The factory is ready. So here I am selecting the first option itself, ingest. It is for just to copy. We can schedule it. We can not scheduling now. I am running it now. So the by default option itself I am selecting. Click next. Now this is the very important step. Okay, we are those who are done it. It is very simple. Those are not done. This is the important step. We need to select the data source. Where is our data source? It is Azure Data Storage. No doubt, Azure Blob Storage is our data source because our data set is available in the data storage. Azure Blob Storage is there. Connection. Okay, now in this data factory, I don't have any connection. I don't have any connection. This is I have created just now. If you are using your already created one, some connection may be there. You can use that one. No issues. And in my case, I don't have any active connections are available in this data factory. I am creating a new data, created a new data factory. So no connections associated with this data factory. So I am creating a new connection. Create a new connection. Okay, I can give any name. I am giving reading from. Okay, reading from blob storage. Blob storage. This is my connection. This is for FTP, ACT FTP. FTP. Okay, just a description for the understanding. And here we need to select the subscription. We are going to connect to that data source. Data source is somewhere. We need to connect to that data source. To data factory needs a connection to retrieve the data from the data source. The data source may be somewhere. We don't know where it is. In our case, it is Azure Storage. Sometimes you can use other things as well. You can see here is a drop-down menu is there. You can see a lot of options from where you can select our data. But we are using the Azure Blob Storage where we already have this data files, input files. So I am going to create a new connection. The data factory is going to create a new connection to establishing a connection with that data source, the source. So EF subscription is there. Storage account name is FTP ACT new. Just I have created. You have to select your storage account name. Otherwise, you are not able to connect it. Storage FTP ACT new. Okay. I'm going to create a connection. Okay, connection is created. Connection is created. We need to specify where is our input to file. Data factory need to retrieve the data. Data factory need to retrieve the data from the data storage. So we need to select the file. So browse. Okay, source is the folder where we are having this file. I am selecting. This is my input to file. This is the file for the data factory. We are giving this file to the data factory. Okay, it is recursively, everything is okay. Okay, our data factories, to the data factory, we have given the file or the source. Data source we are given to the data factory. Next step is we can, okay, here we can see preview the data. This data is available. Okay, then, okay, next step. In the first exercise, we have done up to this. Next step is we need to specify the destination. We have to specify the destination. Okay, here in this case, I am not storing in the Azure Blob Storage. Instead of this, I am using Azure SQL database. Okay, Azure SQL database I am using. Azure SQL database I am using because we have already created a SQL database. Okay, how to connect this? We need to connect the data factory. Data factory is a separate entity. Just imagine this is a separate entity. So Azure Data Factory needs to connect to SQL database. Otherwise, he is not able to store the result over there. There should be an active connection should be there. We need to establish a connection. There is no connection is there. We need to set up a connection. So
Sir, you are on mute. We can't hear you. Yes, Prince, you are on mute actually.
okay, it is not done by my side. Somebody else muted me. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so this is the destination database. This is the destination type, and connection is also established to the database.
Sir, could you please show us once again?
Okay, so I hope the destination part is up to source, and source we have selected in the destination. We are selecting this one, Azure database. Here we are storing the result, Azure database. And we can create a connection. You need to connect to the Azure database, or Azure Data Factory need to have a connection to store the result. Otherwise, Azure Data Factory don't know where the server and all those things, where we need to store. Azure Data Factory don't know. So we need to create a connection to the destination. So in order to create a connection, you can create a new connection. You can give the name. And you can give the subscription. This is the subscription. Under the subscription, you have to select your server. My server name is FDP server. This is my server. You have to select your server. This is my server. Here, the database name you can select. Two database you can see. But my database name is FDF, and SQL authentication. You need to provide username and password. So the connection will be established. This is my connection storing to database. This is my connection to the SQL database. Here, we need to either we can use already existing table, or you can create our own table. But we already have a table. We already created a table. FDP data is our table. I can use that table. I am creating FDP data. This table I am going to use it. In the SQL data.
Sir, if the result is connection failed, what could be the reason?
Okay, connection failed means your username, password. Yeah, maybe because of your you are not selected the correct your server. because, or maybe your
I have
username,
select-
password may not.
Oh, username, password, what we have given there, we have to give it here.
Yes,
which you
yes,
want?
yes. Then only Azure Data Factory can connect to the database.
Oh. So how do we find the username and password if we forgot?
Oh my God, sir, that is, it is,
I missed it.
it is not possible here, sir.
Okay.
Better you can create another one.
Okay.
Okay, I am also facing the same problem, so I have written the username and password in my paper, one paper.
Yeah, I missed it. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so this is the table that I have created, and go to the next step. Okay. Here we can map it. We are going to, from the input to source, this is the input to source. Input to source, 3 fields are there: ID, name, and age. This is the source. This source is nothing but our file, our CSV file. CSV file having 3 fields: ID, name, age. My CSV file I can show you. This is the CSV file. ID, name, age, 3 fields are there. And the destination is nothing but it is SQL database table. This is the destination. Here also 3 fields are there. Columns are okay. ID, name, age. 3 fields are there. So this ID field should store over here. This from the file, from the CSV file, name field, name column is there. That should be stored in the this column, name column in the SQL database, and age should be mapped to age. So source and destination, I am going to match it. It is going to match, and click on next. It is correct. And a task name in the data factory, we are assigning some task. Task is nothing but copy the pipeline. One pipeline is getting created, and one task is assigned. Task is nothing but source to destination copy, transfer data from source to the destination. Source is CSV file, destination is SQL database. This is the task name, and we can give next. This is the summary. From Azure Blob Storage to Azure SQL database. Azure Blob Storage to Azure database. This is the CSV file. The destination is this one. DBO FDP data is the table where we are storing the things. And click on next. So the task is getting executing. Okay, succeeded. Pipeline and has been created. You can now monitor and edit the file. Okay, everything is fine. Deployment is complete. Everything is fine. Now we can check whether it is working or not. We can go here, and previously there was nothing over there. In this table, it is empty. That is why nothing displayed over here. Now I am going to execute once again. Now you can see the table having some field, some value. From where it is coming is, it is given from the data factory. Data factory assigned these values. Data factory received some source. Data factory done something, and the result is stored in my database, my table. So I can see the result over here. If you don't have this one, this Management Studio, what you can do is go to Azure, and the destination is nothing but it is the SQL database. Okay, SQL database. Go to SQL database and go to the database. My database name is FDP ADF. Here, query editor. Let me check whether this is the correct database or not. I'm not sure. Okay, select star from. You can check whether it is your data are copied to the destination or not. Just, my database table name is FTP data. Okay. dbo.ftp data. And click on run. Okay, I can see the data is getting stored. Either you can check from here, or if you are having some other tool called SQL Workbench or SQL Server Management Studio, you can check over there. If you don't have any other tools, any third-party tools, you can check from the Azure itself. So Azure Query Editor, you can go select your database and go to Query Editor, and you can check whether the data is coming in your table. So we have done the Azure Data Factory. We have created a pipeline for copying the data from one storage to another place, one place to another, from the source to destination. So those who are completed, you can. Those are empty. Your case it is empty. Okay, we can definitely. Yes.
Sir, could you please explain the last step? Select.
Yeah, last step after completing this one, our destination. You know where is the destination is. In my case, we have given the destination as SQL database. So just it is my home page. Okay, I'm moving to the home page. This is my home page. After ADF Azure Data Factory is completed the task, it is supposed to have the data in the database. So you can just go to the Azure portal and just to see the database. My database, I can see from here, my database is FDP ADF. It is my database, You can also see your database. Click on your database and we can check in order to check, go to query editor, and in order to go to the query editor, you need to provide the password. Okay, here you can check. We have given the destination as this one. I have given the destination table as this one, FDP data. So I am checking what are the values over here. Select a star from dbo.ftp data. Just run this query. You are able to see number of rows. How many rows are there? In my case, I have copied all the data from the test file to here.
Sir, after selecting the server, what we have to do? We have to create a.
Okay, query editor. Just a search for query editor, sir. Here, this is your home page. Just select your database. It is your destination in the data factory. Here you can select query editor.
Yeah, got it.
Query editor that is provided by Azure. If you are having any third-party tools like this, you can also check from there also. No problems. Okay. If you don't have any third-party tools like this, SQL Workbench or Studio, if you don't have any tools, you can go over here and check it. Query editor, go to query editor. Now to access the query editor, you need to provide the password.
But still, I'm not getting the value. It's not reading from select star from dbo.unenrollment.
Okay.
Query succeed 0. Affected rows 0.
Okay, maybe because some somebody may not give. Sometimes you are not giving some other options, I think.
Sir, I ran the data factory again, so it is now it is working. Rows were empty as early.
Okay, here.
Now it is working. Rows were empty earlier. When we ran the data factory again. Finished.
Ma'am, your voice was breaking, ma'am. Can you repeat, ma'am?
I actually had empty rows earlier,
Okay,
but now I again input output everything is configured. I ran the
okay,
data factory again.
okay.
Now the rows it is showing.
Okay, it is showing. Okay, okay, good. Okay, those who are completed, you can share the screenshot or give a thumbs up, or you can give some message whether you are able to complete or not. Is it possible to access it through mobile phone? Okay, Azure portal, you can definitely, it is a website, you can access it, but it is very difficult to do all those processes.
Sir, since after creating the direct dictionary file, then how to, oh, sorry,
Sir, can you post the query in the chat because the voice is not clear?
okay, sir.
Okay, I can see some output. Joel sir, Dr. Joel sir completed. Okay, Reena Mama is also completed. Okay, those who are not completed, please try to complete it. At least one experiment, exercise like blob storage to blob storage at least, or blob storage to SQL. Okay, whatever it is, one of the exercises you can complete to understand this ETL process, to understand this data factory concepts. Okay, after creating the data factory, you need to specify, after creating the data factory, launch the data factory first. Then you are, after launching the data factory, you will be in this page. You will be in this page. Here you can use either ingest, orchestrate, or transform, or any. But now you can go for this ingest option. It is just a very basic thing. You can copy from one source to the one place to another place. So you can use this ingest. Here you can run at once. Here you need to specify the process. Source you need to specify, and you need to create a connection to connect to the data source, and then you need to provide where you need to store the result. In our case, in this exercise, we have used SQL database, and you have to create a new connection to establish a connection to the database, and click and finish. Then the source to destination transfer will be completed by the data factory. This is the process. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, you can give 1 or 2 minutes. Those who are not completed, please complete it. At least one exercise on a data factory from blob storage to blob storage. That's also fine. Or blob storage to SQL is also that you may feel some difficulties if you are doing the first time. Okay, no issues. You can do blob storage to blob storage. That's also fine. Please complete at least one. Okay, now in the data factory, I will show you one more thing. Okay, here, this is my data factory. I'm living here. Okay, this is my data factory. I hope you already created. Those who have not done anything, don't worry about that one. You can watch the video and the recording will be shared. You can watch the video once again and see the steps, and you can do after the session as well. Okay, in the data factory, we have, I hope all of you have created the data factory, I hope. Let me check. Yeah, I can see so many data factories in our resource group. Okay, go to the resource, go to your data factory. I am having data factory. This is one data factory. This is my data factory, and I am launching my data factory. Okay, this is my data factory. And here you have some other option also. We have here ingest option we have done. Orchestrate is there, and transform data is there. You can click on transform data. We can do some transformation based on the input. We are okay. Transform data. Now you are having a screen like this where you can do some transformation of your data. You can do some transformation. For example, okay, here you can see you can add one source, data source. I am having one data source. I am clicking this one. My data source is okay, here you can under that you can see this thing. Data source one. Okay, data source one. Data set. Data set is you need to select the data set. Data set. I am creating a new. It is Azure. My data set. My input. If I am having multiple, somebody asked in the chat box, how can you use multiple data sources? This is how you can use the multiple data sources. So this is my first data source. So Azure Blob Storage is Azure Blob Storage is the place, and here we can use delimited text or binary. I can use delimited text because we are using a selected one. Delimited text, link this service. Okay, we already have a connection. If you don't have the connection, you can create a new connection. It is reading from, I already have a connection to that storage, and I can select the path. This is my input file. It is my first source. Okay, so this is my first source. Data source one is this one. First source is this one, and it is having 3 columns. As you know, 3 columns are there, right? In my data source, 3 columns are there: ID, name, age, and these are the values. And I am going to create, okay, one more source. Okay, source 1 and source 2. Okay, here in the storage account, where is my storage account? The storage account, I'm having 2. Which account I forgot which account I have selected.
It's FDP ACTE.
FTP ACT, okay. ACT or ACT new, that is the thing I forgot. Okay, no problems. Okay, FTP ACT I am selecting. And here the container input is there. Here I am creating one more file. Okay, I'm creating new file. Input to 2.csv. In the desktop itself, create a file. This is my second one. ID, name, age. I am giving some other values. ABC is the first value. X, Y, Z is another value. PQR is another value. Okay. This is another value. Okay, this is the second file. I am going to upload this one also. Upload this file. Input to 2.csv. I'm going to upload it. Okay, so in my container, I am having 2 file, 2 sources, input and input to. So come to data factory. I am adding one more source. Click here. And here source 2 data set. Okay, I can create a new data set. It is Azure Data Blob Storage. Azure Blob Storage is the second data source. It is also delimited test. Create and linked service is reading from storage, and the path is okay. Oh, sorry, it is in the source. Okay, I have used the other one. Okay, no problems. FTP ACT new. In this container, source is there. Here I am uploading another file. Okay, I'm coming back to data factory. Okay, this is the data factory. I am cancel it. Okay, this is my second data source. I need to specify all those things. Source 2 data set, and here I need to select delimited text to 1. Okay, we can create a new one. New. It is Azure Blob Storage. The second source also Azure Blob Storage. Okay. Delimited test 2. English service is this is the connection. Just open it. You can see the 2 files. Okay, I am selecting the second one as the second data source. We are having 2 sources now. Okay, create. Okay, now I am having 2 sources. This is the first source. This is the second source. Now I can do some transformations. Here you can do some transformation. Like if you do, this is 2 sources. You can add as many sources as you want. But now I am having 2 sources. Now I am doing some transformation. I am clicking on. I can do some, you can see so many operations you can do over here. I can do a join. Let me check how to join it. This is the join operation. In the join operation, I can join source 1, left stream is source 1. We are joining with source 2. Okay, two things we are joining. Okay, we can do full outer join, full outer. So we can get a combination. Okay, everything is fine. Now we can enable this data debugging as well. Now you can check the data preview in order to see what will be the output of this one. You need to enable this debugging in order to see the output. Please wait. Okay, transformation is invalid. To see what is the conditional expression. Okay, we need to provide the conditional expression for that one. So join settings. Here you need to provide at least one. Okay, select a column name. We can set ID. ID of source 1 should be equal to ID of source 2 equal to table to that one. We are joining it, but ID is equal to ID. Okay, this is the condition I have given. And on the data preview, you can see the output over here. Just refresh it, you can see the output. Just a combination. You can see 6 columns. We are combining the first data source with the other data source. Okay, it is doing all those things, fetching the data. We are doing some transformation. We are doing the first data source and the second data source, and we are joining. Now you can see it has been joined. ID equal to we are doing this condition ID equal to 1, prints ABC 21, everything is joined and total columns is 61. And after this is the result, again you can do some other transformation. You can again do some take some other data source and do some other operation. This input can be given to some other transformation. You can transform the data to some other format. So Data Factory is the best place to do all this transformation. You can do some transformations as well. So how to do this one? This exercise is very simple. You can also do from your side. What I have done is I will show you. Okay, I'm opening. Okay, so this is the okay. This is after loading the data factory. Your page looks like this. Here I have selected the option transform data. Okay, we have different options. Till now we have selected the option ingest, that is for copying the source to destination. Now I am doing with the transform data. Click on transform data, and here you can do a lot of things. Add the source. My first source is available in the storage, blob storage, or you can take from the MySQL database or some other source as well. You can select the data. That is up to you. You can select and take the data to this data source. This is one data source. You can take it from Amazon Cloud or some other cloud, GCP, Google Cloud, or IBM Cloud, or Zoho, or Google Docs. You can take from anywhere. Some other different options are there, but for now I am taking the data from Azure Blob Storage. So here we need to provide from where you need to select the data. Data set is available. Data set is available. Create a new, and These are the different places where we can take the data. There are a lot of places where you can take the data, but we are focusing my data is available in the Azure Blob Storage. Continue. And my data is this type of file, not Excel, not JSON. You can use this any type of file. If it is a text file, you can use this option called a binary. But in my case, my file is delimiter test or a CSV comma separator file. So continue. And linked devices or service is already there. I have already created. That is why it is shown over here. Reading from blob storage is also there. If not, you can create a new connection and tell where the file is located. In my case, the connection is already there, so I have selected this one, and I can set the file. So source one should be loaded with first data file. So input.csv is the first data source. Click OK. After that one, the source one is loaded with the values where you have specified the path and all those things. We have selected the file or data set you may be specified. The source one is loaded with the data. In my case, 3 columns are there. And I am adding one more column, one more source, the second source. Now it is not loaded with any data. That is why 0 in total you can see, but I am going to add it. Okay, here the data set, and we need to select the data set, create, not the same one. I am creating a new data set that is also from Azure Blob Storage. Okay, Azure Blob Storage. You can search where the second data source is available. My second data source is also available, Azure Blob Storage. Delimiter test and click continue. And service is this one, reading from blob storage. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing. I forgot to take delimiter test. I can create a new one. Okay, Azure Blob Storage. I forgot to take the file delimiter test. Okay, and we need to select okay, reading from storage, and we need to select the second data set is available in the same file, and this is the file. Click OK. Click OK. Okay, so 2 sources are there. 2 sources, you can see 2 sources, and now I can do the transformation. I can join or conditional split, exist, union, lookup, and all those things. Okay, let me check with the union. I never tried this one, so I'll check the union. Okay, combination of rows, transformation. Okay, source. It is in the first source union with second source. Okay, so the arrow is coming. And you can go to data preview and you are able to see the result. You're able to see the result, I think. Okay, you can see it is union we have selected. And this is the transformation output. So you can do different transformation. After that, this union can be given to some other places and you can do the transformations over there. Okay, so this is up to the data factory. It is the time for a short break, I think. From the morning onwards you are doing. Yes, ma'am.
Can you please show how do you get the join operator?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So I will demonstrate once again after the break. So it is a break time. We are little late as well. I am sorry for that. I know you are eagerly watching all those things and doing all the practices. We are very happy to see this thing. And anyway, I will demonstrate once again after the break. And now it is the time for a short break, and we can come back at a sharp tone. Okay, Manjula ma'am, definitely we will demonstrate once again this day. Okay, we can have a short break then. Siddharth, shall we go for a break?
Definitely, Prince. It's time for a
Okay.
break.
Yeah, yes. Okay, we can back at after 15 minutes.
Yes.
हेवी पटकन मला वेळ नाही पटकन झालं की हे बोल मला पटकन किती राहिलेले 3 पेज हे दोन आणि
मीटिंग घ्या माझा एफडीपी म्हणजे काय असतो एफडीपीचा फुल फॉर्म फॅकल्टी डेव्हलपमेंट प्रोग्राम काय असतो फॅकल्टी
Okay, welcome back. I hope all of you are back after the break. Okay, I can see Santosh sir done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
happy
sir.
to see that. Yeah. Okay, good, sir. Okay. Ojol sir is also done. Okay, I can see the output. Okay, I think Manjula Ma'am asked some queries about how to do this thing. Okay, I will show once again this process. Okay, this is my data factory. Log into your data factory. And I have done with transform data. I have done with transform data. Here you can add multiple data sources. My data source is available in my blob storage. So I am adding my first data source. It is my first data source. It is available in my blob storage. So here a data set, it is available in my, you have to click a new connection. Okay, if you are clicking here, you can see some options in the down pane. Here you can see some options you need to fill. The name of the first source is source 1. I am giving the stream name, first stream name or source 1. And the data set values, you can have a new connection. You can specify where the data is coming from. My data is coming from the Azure, and it is the Azure blob storage. And my type of data is delimiter type. It is a CSV file. That is why I am using this delimited.
I have muted the participant, Prince.
Okay,
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Siddharth. So let delimited 4, I am giving the name as delimited 4, and linked service means it is we need to set up a connection to retrieve the data from the data source. In my case, it is Azure. We need to connect it. I already have a connection to Azure. If you don't have the connection, you can create a new connection to establish a connection to the Azure storage, or from where the data source is there. You need to establish a connection by clicking new. In my case, I am having a connection already there. And you need to select the file. You need to select the file. My input first source is available in this. My first source is this file. Okay, input.csv. So I am selecting this one.
Excuse me, sir. You are selecting from the container name, correct?
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah. In the data storage account, I am having a container. In that container, I already have the files. Data sources is available in my container.
Yes,
I have selected the first one from the container. And I am adding one more source. That source is also coming from the Azure storage. You can select a different storage as well. Maybe Google Doc or some other place. Maybe you can select the storage. You can select the data set. In my case, second source is also available in the Azure storage, Azure data storage. So come down. The second streaming name is source 2. It is data set, and you can create a new data set for the source 2. It is Azure blob storage. Second source is also blob storage, Azure blob storage. And the file type is not Excel, not JSON, not XML. It is a delimited text. It is a comma separated file. So I am taking delimited text. Here you need to connect it to the second source. We need to connect the second source. If you don't have this type of connection, you can create a new connection. Okay, you can read to ADF from blob. Okay, this is my connection I am giving. Here you can give Azure subscription is this one, and under that FDP ACT new is my storage account name. Create it, and here that my container name is source, and input it to.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
Can we add an SQL database as well as the input
Yes.
at this stage as a source?
Yeah, definitely. I will show you, sir. I am adding one more data source. This is data source 3. Here you can add SQL database or any other things. Here, source 3. I am adding a new connection. It is Azure, and you can see SQL database somewhere. Azure SQL database. I am clicking here and click continue. And I am having a connection storing to database. Yes, this connection is enough. And the table name is FTP data. That table contains some value. Okay, and click OK. So I am having three data. 3 data sources are available. 2 blob storage, and another one is 1 database. And now I can do some transformations. For example, I can join these 2. Okay, I can join these 2. This one join with I can join with source 1, left to join with source 2. Okay, I have joined. So output of this one will be, okay, while joining you need to provide some condition as well. We can do full outer join, full outer join. Condition like ID should be matched. ID of this one should match with ID of the second source. And you can see the preview. The output of this thing will be, I am refreshing it. So 6 columns will be there. Okay, 6 columns will be there. And what I am going to do is I am doing one more operation. I can have, okay, I can have a union operation. I am adding union of these two, or I am joining these two. I am joining these two. I am joining. This one with source 2 with source 3.
Sir, could you please show how to connect the source 1 and source 2 using join? 1 minute, I missed that point.
Okay. So this is okay. This is we are having three sources: source 1, source 2, and source 3. You can click the plus icon. Here the plus icon is there. Here you can have different options are there: join, exist, union, and so on, so on. I am using join. Okay. So source, you click here, you can see different options on this pane. Yeah. You can see here. Click here. Source 1 is the left stream is source 1. Left join source 1 with source 2 or source 3. I am joining with the source 2. Then you can see this arrow.
Correct. Okay.
And you can either go for full outer join, inner join, left outer join, right outer join. It is something similar to the SQL join operations. I am going with the full outer join. And when you need to provide some condition, ID of first source should be equal to ID of the second one. This is a condition for joining.
Okay.
And after that, you can see the preview. You just refresh. You can see 6 columns for this one.
How do I preview from where I can select, sir?
This is the first option, and the last one, data preview. You can see this one.
Okay.
Click here. You can see 6 columns are there. 6 columns are there. That is the join operation. Now I am joining source 2 and source 3. Okay. Clear. Join with this is another join. Source 3 with source 2.
The data preview, I don't know, validate the data flow debug we have to do.
Yes, you need to enable debug. Then only you can enable see the data preview. You need to enable the preview.
When I click that one, it is asking integration runtime, debug time to be live. I can say okay, right? Nothing.
Yes. Okay, here I am doing another join operation. Source 2 and source 2 and source 3. These two I am joining. Source 2 and source 3 I am joining. I am also doing the full outer join, and I am doing with the ID equal to ID. But remember, my source 3 is from the database. And I can see the output of this one. Okay. Oh, okay. Here it is because one type is string and from the database. Source 3 is from database. From there, it is coming an integer value. ID is an integer. But source 2 is coming from where? It is from the text CSV file that is a string, so that we can't do the comparison. That is why some error comes. So I am not able to do this thing. Okay, let me check on the other one. Okay, we can't do this then because this source 3 is from the database. Okay, so we are having multiple sources are there, and we can do multiple operations. You can do another operations like this as well. If my database first ID I am setting it as a string, then I am able to join all those things. Now after that I can let me check with the union. This is the output of these two. I am joining it with union with join 2. I can join source 1 or source 2. I can join with this one or any source, and you can do some other transformation. So this flow can be according to your requirement. You can do all these things. So this is the transformation part that is in the data factory. You can have multiple sources. For that, I have selected the option transform data, and you can load different data sources and do the transformations. Okay, so this is all about the data factory, and the data factory is mainly we can use for ETL process. I hope you have done something with the data factory. Okay, done. Okay, here are done. Process savable and insert done the thing. Okay, good.
Sir, I am getting preview some error. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, you need to enable the debugging amount. Okay, share the screen. Mama, I can't see the screen. I can see only black screen. Can you share it once again?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, sir, it got stuck. So I will just wait.
No issues. Prince, till time you share your screen and we can start with the next topic.
Okay.
If you are getting an error with a preview, most probably it is you have to enable with the debugging option. Just to try to enable the debugging option. Then you are able
Okay,
to
sir.
see the. Okay. Okay, so that is all about the Azure Data Factory and all. Now we are moving to our second topic for day 4, that is how we can do machine learning with Azure. I am closing this thing, Data Factory. I am going to close. Okay, let it be here. Okay, so we are just an introduction about what you mean by machine learning. So in this session, we are going to see how to what you mean by machine learning and how we can do some exercises with machine learning. With the hands-on some exercises also we are doing with some machine learning part. So machine learning is nothing but it is machine learning is nothing but it is a branch of this artificial intelligence. The machine itself can learn from the past or some different types of machine learning types are there: supervised or unsupervised or reinforcement. So, supervised, for example, example of a machine learning. Suppose, for example, of a just consider the scenario of a kid or a child, a baby. While he is growing up, he don't know anything. What is dusk? What is bench? What is orange? What is apple? He don't know anything. But even after he is seeing and so many apples or so many oranges, he is able to differentiate what is apple and what is orange. It is because he has seen different apples or different so many oranges. That is why he is able to differentiate. After seeing first orange, he may not identify it is orange or not. He sees something like a ball or something, and after seeing the second orange, he can classify. He can classify the attributes of an orange, like it is in a round shape. The size is something like this. The color is in this orange color. So after he is seeing so many different oranges, we can see different values, different oranges, he can able to identify, or he is able to classify the properties of orange. After that, he is learning the concept of orange, when we is showing a new orange, he is able to identify that it is an orange, it is not a ball. This is how we are learning the things. The same thing we are applying to the machine. We are showing different things to the machine in the form of data set, and telling them that this is this thing, and this thing is this thing, and from this type of data set, the machine can infer, or machine can classify the things, and the machine can learn from the data set, and machine can able to identify the things. So the machine learning can be done different ways. One is supervised, other one is unsupervised, other one is reinforcement learning. So the first one is supervised. In the supervised learning, the data set is nothing but it is a sample values. For example, the kid initially don't know, he can't differentiate between a ball and an orange. He don't know anything. And after that, we are telling them that after showing an orange, we are telling to the kid that this is an orange. And the second orange, that is the first sample, and we are telling that it is an orange. So he has an idea. This is the property and this is the value. If these are the properties, this is an orange. And after showing the second sample, the size is something similar to the first orange. Color is orange, and size is the shape is round shape, everything. And the output, the value is, or a label, we can call it the machine learning table. It is a label. Label is orange. After showing different samples, after 10 or 100 or 1000 oranges shown to the kid, he is able to identify that these are the properties and the value is orange, or we are able to identify it. So this type of learning, we can call it as supervised learning, and this can be used for prediction and all of those things. After that, we are showing an apple or something, he is able to identify it is an orange.
The screen,
so this type of
sir, we are not able to see the screen what you are explaining.
I already shared the screen actually.
No, the reference link what you clicked, it has not gone to the next.
Okay, I think now the screen is visible, I think.
Yes, sir.
So machine learning, the three types of machine learning. So one is supervised. Supervised is some the data set we are specifying what is according to the properties, what is the value. If one sample of orange, we are showing that the properties are something like shape is this one, color is this thing, and the size is this thing, then it will be an orange. And another sample, it may not be an orange. Another sample that may not be an orange. For example, if we are showing an apple and we are telling that it is an apple, not an orange. So that a kid can differentiate what is an orange and what is an apple. So same way we are we are giving some sample to the machine and the machine learning from the samples, and he is able to identify this one is a sample, or we can classify this to a particular level. This is called supervised learning. This is called supervised learning, and unsupervised learning is nothing but from a different samples we can classify these things. We can classify these things. We can classify according to the properties. According to the properties, we are having a large data set. A data set. Suppose a machine. We are having a larger data set or a lot of samples. According to this sample, we can classify with the common properties. If we are 1,000 rows or 1,000 samples are there, according to these 1,000 samples, we can classify. We can classify the first sample, second sample, and the fifth sample have the same properties, and we can classify into a particular group. And the fourth sample, sixth sample, and the 10th sample have a common property, and we can classify to some other group. So this type of learning, according to the samples, we can classify the things. It is called unsupervised learning. It is not having a particular label, we can say. It is an unsupervised learning. And another thing is a reinforcement learning. We can learn it from the mistake. Learn it from the mistake. A simple example we can say in the machine learning aspect, or our human perspective. Human perspective, we can say, suppose we have done some mistake. Suppose I am walking. Okay, what I can do. Suppose we are walking to a road. And it was late. Okay, so learn from mistakes. Suppose I am touching the fire, something happened, it is painful. That is, I have done a mistake, I learned this thing. And after that, I won't do that thing. Such a type of, that is also a learning experience, or learning from the experience, or learning from the mistake, we can say. Simply learning from the mistake. Such a learning is called a reinforcement learning. Or in the machine perspective, what we can say, for example, a chess game. A chess game. Suppose machine is playing a movement, and after that particular movement, that game, suppose machine failed that game. Okay, machine lost the game, not won the game. So machine understood that if I am doing such a movement, it was a mistake from my side. So I am not doing such a move. So he can learn from that mistake, and he can do another movement for the next time. So such a type of learning we can call reinforcement learning. So supervised and unsupervised reinforcement are the three types of machine learning. I can give another example as well. So supervised example here gives a very good example. It is identify. It gives a proper example for the supervised learning. For example, there are a lot of samples are given to the machine. Machine knows don't know anything. Machine is a simple machine. He don't know anything, and we are giving a sample of apple, sample of ball, and says that it is ball. Apple has shown to the machine and told him that it is an apple, and shown a ball to the machine and told mark it as ball, and told it is a ball, and a cup shown to the machine and told and mark it as a cup. So we have a lot of samples, and some labels are also associated with that. If an apple sample given, the label is apple, or the output is apple. If I am having a lot of balls, all these balls are mapped to a particular label called a ball. And some cup we are having, and this cup is mapped to a label called a cup. So machine learning from these samples with these labels, so that after that we are showing some other cup. Okay, we already given this yellow color cup to the machine, and the machine learning from the samples Learning from the sample means machine identify the properties. A cup is having this structure, this color, this much of height, and other structure is something like that. From that, machine learning from the sample and output of that particular thing is cup. After learning is completed, we are giving a sample. This is a cup. This cup is a different cup that is used for machine learning. Machine learning process, we have given so many samples and the machine learned the structure of a cup. So after that, we have shown this cup to the machine. Machine analyze the properties. So these properties are matched with this label. So machine identify this as a cup. This type of learning we can call it as supervised learning. In supervised learning, so many samples we are giving along with the label. We are telling show an apple and tell the machine that it is an apple. And another sample we are taking an orange and shown to the machine and tell him that it is a ball. And take another sample that is a cup shown to the machine and tell it is a cup. And we are having a lot of samples of each of them, so that machine can extract the properties and mark the label according to that. After learning is completed, if you are showing this thing, the machine is able to identify. This type of things is called the supervised learning. And unsupervised learning, there is no such labels. No such labels. We are having a lot of samples. We are not giving anything. We are having a lot of samples. And machine can do, what machine can do is, machine classifies. Okay, machine classifies the properties of the samples and group or classify into particular different groups. These groups have a common properties, another group having another properties, this group having another properties, or it is classifying based on the properties. This is called the unsupervised learning. We are not giving any instruction. This is this thing and this is this thing. We are not giving anything. But machine itself can learn. Machine itself can learn and classify the things. For a simple example, in the Amazon, okay, you all are using the Amazon. In the Amazon, suppose if you are purchasing something, okay, suppose you are purchasing something, for example, suppose you are purchasing a TV. There is a suggestion coming from the Amazon side. The people are purchasing TV along with the TV stand. There is a suggestion. It is because the Amazon site having a lot of data sets. So many people purchased so many things, and it is grouping together. The people who are purchasing TV is also purchasing this TV stand also. So it is classifying or it is grouping. The data set is there. According to the data set, it classifies the group. If we purchasing the TV, there is a possibility to purchase this TV stand also. That is a particular classification. Another classification also there, or we can say a set of samples or a data set we can classify into particular group, or machine can classify its own. No supervision is required. But in the case of supervised learning, we have to tell them the one supervision should be there, or one supervision. We have to tell this is orange. If this is the properties, this is an orange. Another sample we are taking and tell them that this is an apple. Take the another sample, we have to tell them that it is a cup. This is supervision is required, or some label is there. That is supervised learning. But in the case of unsupervised learning, no supervision is required. From the data set, machine itself extracts something and classify it. That is unsupervised learning. And reinforcement learning, one example is there. One example, you can see in the right side, a dog. a dog is there. What he is saying, a man with a stick. What he understood, what the dog thinks, because he has the dog got a bad experience previously. If somebody raised the hand with a stick, it is a chance to get better from the person. So the dog can run away. So the reinforcement learning is something is learning from the mistake or learning from the experience, from the first experience or learning from the mistake. If I am playing a movement in the chess and I lost the game, means my movement is not so good. So I learned one thing, this movement is not so good. So I have to do for some other things. And see the dog. If somebody raised the hand, already I knows that dog knows that I had a bad experience, so I have to run away from that place. So this type of things we can call it as reinforcement learning. So these are the fundamental learnings, the types we are using in machine learning. So these are the different machine learning types: supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement learning, and all those things. In supervised learning, there is another type is also there. Different regression and classification is there. In regression, suppose we are having a lot of data set and the result, suppose the result is an integer or a particular value, then we can call that type of learning, we can call it as a regression. Weather forecasting, already some data set is there. According to the data set, we are predicting that tomorrow's temperature is 85 degrees centigrade, 85 degrees. So the output will be a particular value. That type of learning or that type of machine learning is called a regression. And the classification is also there. We are not getting the exact value, but instead of we are classifying it. Tomorrow temperature is hot or cold. Not an exact value. It is not an exact value, but we are classifying the things. From the data set, we are classifying the things, something like that. Tomorrow temperature belongs to this class. Maybe hot. Tomorrow's temperature belongs to the class hot, or tomorrow's temperature belongs to the class cold. That is called a classification. In the regression, we are getting the exact value. Tomorrow's temperature should be this thing. That is regression. So these are the different concepts of this thing. Okay, now we are going to see how we can do some machine learning, how we can do some machine learning activities in. Okay, Ashur. Okay, somebody is asking something, I think. Okay, now we are moving to how to do some machine learning exercises. In order to start with machine learning with Azure, definitely machine learning we are doing with a Python language. In order to start with machine learning with Azure, we are going this portal, machinelearning.azure.com. This is a nice website. I am giving the link on the chat, so you can go to this portal, ml.azure.com. ml.azure.com. It is automatically redirected to your. If you are already logged into your Azure portal, then definitely you are logged in. And make sure that you are in the EduNet World directory. Make sure that you are in the EduNet World directory. Okay, go to this one. You go to ml.azure.com, ml.azure.com. the okay, go to this site ml.azure.com and login. If you are already logged into Azure account, it is automatically logged in. I am also logged in, and make sure you are in the EduNet World directory. By default, it may not be there, so you have to change it to EduNet World directory. Currently, I have changed it to EduNet World.
Sir, how to change it? Can you show it again?
Okay, click here the profile, here the option switch directory is there. Click there and there is an option.
Okay. Then after that, we need to select off on
Yeah.
nothing. Subscription, we
Okay.
may not do anything.
Okay, by default, the EduNet World subscription is automatically there. EduNet World subscription is all automatically there. You don't need to select anything. By default, it is already selected.
Okay, sir.
No need to do EduNet World. We are already subscribed with the EF subscription. Okay, after you are logged in with the ml.azure.com, first step is you have to create a workspace. And there is a button create workspace is there. Click here to create a workspace, and you can create a workspace name. And I am giving the workspace name as ML, FDP-ML. Okay, FDP-ML, machine learning. FDP-ML, and under the F subscription, and the resource group should be FDP-AICT. And you can select the region that is closer to you. It should be, you have to add this thing in the FDP-AICT resource group, FDP-AICT. And click on create. Okay, workspace is getting created. You can see the workspace creating FDP-ML. That my workspace is getting created. FDP-ML, it is getting created. It will take some time to create it. We need to wait for some time to getting created. Please create a workspace. First go to ml.azure.com. First go to this link ml.azure.com. The link is shared in the chat ml.azure.com, and change the directory to EduNet World. You can go in the right top corner and see the profile. Click on the profile and change the directory to EduNet World. Otherwise, the subscription will not be there. You can't create any resource. So first of all, do that thing. After that, create a workspace. I have created the workspace. This is my workspace. This is my workspace. In this workspace, you can go with notebooks. Notebook. It is something similar to the Jupyter Notebook, where we are doing the Python codes and AML code. I am clicking. Click on this notebook. Click on this notebook. Here you can see the file structure and all those things. Here we are going to create a new file. Create a new file, and the file name is FML, machine learning, and create it. The file is getting created. You can see the file is getting created, and here you can see some different blocks. Here we can enter the Python code and run it. Okay, for example, simply I am creating print hello, print hello, and if I am running, it will not run. Most probably it will not run. It will give an error because only workspace has been created, there is no computer or server we have created to run this thing. So we need to create a computing resource to run these machine learning programs. We need to create a computing resource. So I hope you have done up to this. Go to notebook, create a workspace, go to create a workspace FTPML, and go to notebooks, create a new file ml.pnb, Python notebook, ml.python notebook. So I have created this thing. And in order to run this thing, we need to set up a compute. So come down. Here the compute option is there. Go here. We need to create a compute option. Okay, click new. Compute name is Prince. Either you can go for CPU or GPU, but don't select the GPU. It costs more. So CPU is good. For our purpose, CPU is more than enough. If you are doing a very big project, then definitely you can
Sir,
go for
again,
GPU.
can repeat, sir. Prince, sir, sorry.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, sure.
after the notebook, repeat, sir.
Okay, I hope you all created the notebooks and created the file, one new file. Okay, this is my file, but we can't run it because we don't have the compute we have set up. So come down here, the compute option is there. Compute is required because this Python program should be submitted to this particular server and run there and giving the result back. So we need to set up a compute. So click here,
Where
click
the
here.
compute, sir?
On the left side under manage.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Over here.
okay.
Here. Click here
Yes,
and click new. Here different option. We can give a computer name. I have given this name, and you can select the CPU or GPU. We can go for CPU for the demonstration purpose. GPU is not required. GPU is if you are doing a very big project, then go for GPU. GPU costs more compared to the CPU, so better we can go for CPU. And here we can have a different option according to your requirement. You can select a different one. So DS1 it is 0.15, 0.23. It have 14 GB RAM, different 28 GB storage, 2 core, it is 4 core. I can select this one by default option itself. 4 core processor, 32 GB RAM and 150 GB storage, and 10 cores are there, and 0.29 per hour. Okay, it is not a big thing. We can go for that. I am going to review and create. Okay, I am creating a computing facility for running the Python. So my computer is getting created. It is creating. You can see it is getting creating. Okay, let it create. We need to wait for some time. It is getting created. Computer is getting created. It will take some time. We need to wait for some time to getting created it. After getting created, we can again go back to our notebooks that has been created. Previously, we created one notebook, and we can write the Python programs over there. Come back to notebook. It is getting created, not finished. It is creating, not completed. After completing only, we can run the thing, run our program. Okay, those who are done, please share the screenshot in the chat. It is taking too much time. Or let me check I am having any other compute is available. No, it is or there is another option is there, serverless compute is available, but if you are doing this one, it is, even if for running this program, it will take too much of time, around 5 minutes of 10 minutes. It is required to complete this one if you are using the serverless that is available. So better to create our own computing facility. I have created this computing facility with the 4 core, 32 GB RAM. The costing is, yeah, now it is getting created. The cost is $0.29 per hour. Okay, 0.29. Okay, better to select this one. Better to select this one. Don't select any other GPU or any other things. It is cost. It will cost more. So better select the recommended this thing itself. And now I am able to run this program. Please click here and you are able to see the output, that is hello. So my I have set up the notebook. I have set up the compute. Now I am able to run the Python programs over here. Now it is very easy to do our machine learning programs. You just copy paste your machine learning program over here. If you have any data set, you can upload over here and run the program. So easy it is. After you are computing, you can see that Python kernel is also there. By default, it is selected with Python 3.10, I think. It is having all Python libraries installed. If you are selecting some other Python kernel, like some other previous versions, all Python library may not be available, then you need to install by your own. So better to keep it with the by default. So my Python program is running successfully. So if you have done up to this, please share the screenshot on the chat so that I can move to the next topic. Okay, it is also creating. So run a simple, very simple Python program. Very simple Python program. Okay, it is creating. I can see. It is taking. In my case, it is.
Net is down.
Okay, I hope sir got created the things and run the Python program. I hope.
Sir, it is asking for some authentication. What do you mean by that? On the top, you can see I have uploaded my screen. We need to authenticate that one.
Okay, I hope this is.
It is asking one button, authenticate. The last
please
one.
Do, sir. Please do. Please do.
I have to do. Okay.
Whether this one, sir?
No, authentication.
Okay, no. Okay, not this image, I think.
Yeah. Yes, done. Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, this one, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you can see you have done a simple notebook. You have created and displayed a Hello World program, very simple program. Those who are not completed, please complete up to this. Okay, it is running, and they created those who are created the server go to the notebook and they create a new notebook, create a new file, and they just display at least hello world or hello print hello. Just in this box, you just type print hello and run it. Make sure that you are selected your own computer. That's all completed. Please share the screenshot on the chat. Okay, I can see some screenshot. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I hope you have done up to this. Now I am giving one small Python program and a data set. I think Siddharth can share the code. Let me copy the code.
I'll share the code in the chat, Prince. Don't worry.
Okay.
And
Okay, thank you,
the
Siddharth.
data set is
The
also
data
I'll
set.
share.
Okay. I am creating a new block, and here I am pasting a simple program. The program is already, I hope that is shared in the chat. You can copy the program from there. It is a simple machine learning program. In order to run the machine learning program, you need to have a data set. You need to have a data set. And I need to download the data set as well. This is diabetes. This is the data set. I am downloading this one. Download. And I need to upload the data set. In order to work this program, we need a data set. I am going to upload it. This is the data set. Diabetes.
Not able to see the code and dataset in the chat.
Okay.
But just
I
now
hope
share the data set. Just now I have shared the data set. And regarding code, just give me a moment, please.
Okay.
Just please. I have shared the data set. If you can, if you want to check, you can check the data set. And regarding code, allow me a moment, please. Sir, you can check both. I have shared both the things.
Okay, so the code is available in the chat. You can copy paste the code, and the data set is also available. So download the data set and upload it over here. I have uploaded the data set diabetes.csv, and I am using this program for machine learning. And in order to run, okay, I am going to run this program. Click run. From the diabetes, it is getting run. Okay, so we got the output. So it is nothing but diabetes data set is there, out of which we have selected, classified based on that one, and 20% of samples we have taken for the testing purpose, and we are getting the output here. So this is how we are running the machine learning program on the Azure machine learning. So try to complete this program. Try to upload the file, the data set over here, and create a new block and paste the code and run the program, and you are getting the output. You can use any machine learning algorithm or machine learning programs and so many data sets are available. You can download the data set, and you can write the program, and you can copy paste the code over here and run the program so that you will get the output. Always use our own computing facilities. We created the compute. Okay. So this is for a small introduction about the machine learning and how to run the program in the Azure. So you just
Program-
try from your side. Yes.
Excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
The program is giving any output? It shows some error, syntax error.
Okay, I am
Run
using
the
the same program. Can you share me what error you are getting?
It says syntax error, invalid syntax. Cell number 3, line 69. It has context menu. Something is there.
Sir, can you share the screenshot or something of what error you are getting? 69. I don't have. Or because the
Sir, we are
program having
getting the
only
correct
60.
output.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, it's on your screen, sir. We are getting the correct output.
Okay. Operand accuracy, something else has been added. Okay.
Make sure that you are using the same data set that is shared by Siddharth and the same program used to be all shared on the chat.